You're listening to The Swingdom, the champion podcast of the year. 2 guys, 28 clubs, 0 putts given, with your hosts, Ben Ridner and Gunnar Kane.
Hello, citizens of the Swingdom.
What's
Is
up?
it all right if I call them citizens?
Please do, because all the other names you've picked were not good.
They were not good. Would you ever call yourself a citizen of the Swingdom?
I am a citizen of the Swingdom.
Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't too goofy.
The Queen is a citizen of the United Kingdom, correct?
Is she?
Yes.
Do you think she has a pass? I know she's on the passport, but does she have the passport?
If she's on the money, she's a citizen.
Yeah. Does she have a pass? I'm going to ask that question. Like, does the Queen need a passport?
Yes. I think everybody needs a passport no matter what.
That is an interesting question.
The president has
How
a
many
passport.
times do you think she's just like, do you know who I am?
Yes. And
She says that like in airport security.
Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am? Yeah, okay, so it's citizens of the Swingdom. We're sticking with that.
Stick with it.
You're listening to The Swingdom, the champion podcast of the year. 2 guys, 28 clubs, 0 putts given, with your hosts, Ben Ridner and Gunnar Kane.
Good after morning, citizens of the Swingdom. I am your host, Ben Ridner. I am a 10.4 handicap. I play Cobra Golf Clubs. I'm here with my best golfing buddy and citizen of the Swingdom as well, Gunnar Kane. He's got some Titleist clubs. He's got a Cobra driver. He's got a Titleist hat. He's got some Callaway wedges now.
Just one.
And yeah, and thank you for checking us out on the Swingdom. If this is your first time here, try listening to the whole thing because we promise it gets better than this. Today we're going to be going through the news. We're going to be talking about the Vivant Houston Championship at Memorial Park. You know, Brooks Koepka was like a co-designer on that.
Was he?
They
He
said
didn't
it like
play
9
very
times.
well.
He didn't play. Well, he did play really well at the end. And then I think at some point we're going to talk about what we're going to do in golf this week, or just things that we just generally are not going to be so excited about. Are you ready to get on with the show, Gunner?
Bow show.
So what, you want to do stuff we do in golf this week? Or you want to talk about the news?
Let's do the news because we have some interesting news. One, our boy Joaquin Niemann is out with COVID from the Masters tournament. I know we didn't think he was going to win it, but we do love Joaquin Niemann.
I thought he was going to make the cut.
Yeah, for sure. We like Joaquin Niemann a lot. We've seen him in person. Really great player. We're just super bummed that he's not going to get to play in the Masters tournament this year, last year's, but next week, and then maybe next couple months. Boom.
Yeah.
It is a bummer, though. COVID's really ruining everything.
It is, yeah. I raged him might be a bit COVID-esque.
Yeah, especially after we hot mic today. Shout out hot mic, free plug.
Yep.
Is that a free plug? No, it's not really.
It is. It's just a plug. It's a free plug.
It's not a free plug.
Check out Hot Mic. We're on it. Code Word Golf.
We'll read that. We'll read that second. But we do have some things to rage on about. But I am definitely bummed. This is yet again no par 3 contest at the Masters, and now ridiculous. No Joaquin Niemann because of this stupid pandemic.
Yeah.
I'm so upset.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
What do you have for the news?
So I'm just gonna go with like the bits that I've seen recently. Again, there's no like the news is the Masters starts on Thursday.
You're darn right it does.
Like that's the news. Welcome to the Swingdom. The golf starts Thursday for the first time in a long time. Rory McIlroy, your favorite pick, the Roar Slam, the Slam Roar?
Yes.
Lamelroy, is that what we'll call it?
No, we're not going to call it that. You continue. I will pull up an exact quote from publication that I am featured on and
What do you
about the
call it?
Masters. The Rory Slam.
I'm
I
calling
call
it the Slammelroy.
I don't like that.
I'm calling it the Slammelroy. You can't stop me.
I famously did not think.
He's quoted as saying the Masters are going to be trickier this fall. Good job, Rory. The Masters are always tricky. They're going to be trickier now. Why? No one knows. Is the grass going to be shorter? Is it going to be firmer? Is there going to be more or less wind or rain? Doesn't really delve into it. He just says it's going to be trickier than normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the big news. This is the biggest news is that Bryson DeChambeau, he went to Augusta. He played a practice round at Augusta last week. And guess what?
What?
He was on Sirius XM PGA Tour Radio with Sandy Lyle last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, Carl Paulson.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry. So let me read correctly. Let me use my eyeballs. DeChambeau teed it up with Sandy Lyle, and Sandy Lyle went on to the Inside the Ropes radio show on XM, Sirius XM Radio.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready for this?
Yes.
Hole number 1 is a par 4, 445-yard hole.
Yes.
What are you hitting into the green?
What am I hitting into the green?
Yeah, what's your approach shot? What club is that?
It's a 445-yard par 3.
Yeah.
Par 4, I'm sorry.
I think it's a little bit downhill.
5-iron.
Yeah, you know what he hit?
9-iron.
Sand wedge.
Shut up.
Yeah. Par 5, second hole, par 5, 575 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what his second shot was into the green?
6-iron.
8-iron.
Oh.
All right. Number 3 is par 4, 350 yards.
Uh-huh.
What did he hit into the green?
450 yards. Lob wedge.
He flew the green with a 3-wood.
No.
Yes.
Wait, off the tee?
Yep.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. He hit it 365, 375 yards with a 3-wood.
What?
Yep.
He's
Let's go to the holes that everybody knows, all right?
Odds are.
Let's go to Amen Corner, all right?
Uh-huh.
Number 11, par 4, 505 yards downhill. What did he hit into the green?
505 yards, par 4. 505 yards is too long for a par 4, first
It's
of all.
all downhill, though.
I don't care. I don't care what hill it is, up, down,
Okay.
left, right, backwards, too far. Flew it. On the green, in one with the driver.
He hits a 9-iron.
9-iron.
He's got 180 yards left. He hits it 410 yards. He's got 180 yards left into the. He hits a 9-iron, 160, 180 yards.
Oh my God.
And then number 13, par 5, 510 yards. You know the one that hooks around left?
Yeah.
The one where Phil amazingly hits it out of the pine straw?
Yeah.
Right? Guess what he hits into the green on that hole?
Pitching wedge.
7-iron. But guess what he hits off the tee?
I'm not even listening at this point because I'm so dumbfounded. Off the tee, it's a
3-wood.
3-wood. That's what I was going to say. It's not really. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. Jack might be right, but Bryson DeChambeau, I'm going to go down right or wrong about this. Bryson DeChambeau is going to get swallowed by Augusta National when the lights are the brightest and he's looking for a Masters. He is not going to get it. He's not.
So are you definitely not picking him next week?
I'm not sure yet.
Are you going to pick him next week?
Listen.
Look, I know who you're picking first. Does that mean I get the second and third picks?
I have to echo. What? I get the third pick.
Why would you get the third pick? You got the first pick this week.
You get the first pick, but you can't have my first pick. Yes, you get second and third pick.
There you go.
I get it. All right, I'm going to echo what I said in 2019. By the way, Tiger Woods won the 2019 Masters.
He did.
Yes, and I didn't even consider him to be in contention, so that tells you how much
Here's a quick would you rather.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather be putting the jacket onto Tiger Woods, or would you rather Tiger Woods be putting the jacket onto you?
Him putting it onto you. 100%.
Okay.
All right. So this is PGAtour.com. I am published as an expert. I have it right here. But I'm published. If I can get it close enough.
That's beautiful. That's a wonderfully bright white screen if you're watching on
There it is. There it is.
Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, all right. Listen.
DeChambeau.
No. Stop looking. All right. It's not Bryson DeChambeau. Oh, yeah. Actually, you know what? He is on my list.
Do you have any other news?
Yes. I'm going to echo. Let me echo what I said last year.
Okay.
Rory McIlroy.
You know we have like a pre-Masters show, right?
Yes. I'm just saying Bryson DeChambeau is a maybe pick for me.
Yeah.
Maybe pick for me. So is Ricky Fowler. I might go that way.
Good.
I'm voting Rory McIlroy.
Good. I've already got my second and third picks down if you just want to make this the pick show.
No. We'll do that on Wednesday.
I've got all three of my picks, and they're going to make you angry.
All right. Don't pick Doc Redman. You can't because he's not in. But let's move on.
Dan the Burger Van Man Burger.
Snubbed. All right. You have no more news? I don't have any more news either.
There's all the news is like Augusta's next week.
Masters is next week. We'll have an action-packed show on Wednesday. So
you know what? Yeah, you know what the news is? You know what some good news is?
What?
If you have not checked out the YouTube channel,
True.
And cousin Adam are going to be playing the Georgia Greens course on My Fitness Golf on the SkyTrack.
What is My Fitness Golf? Free plug.
So you know what a SkyTrack is?
I know what it is. Yeah.
You know what a SkyTrack is, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's like a golf. So like the SkyTrack is the simulator. It like reads the ball flight. It tells you how amazing you are. It helps you get better. It's a great product. Free plug, SkyTrack.
Free plug.
Fitness golf. So SkyTrack has like 7 different programs that you can buy for it. So they have like E6, which is just like ridiculous, but it's also like a couple £1,000 a year.
Right.
And I'm like, no. And then they've got another one called Creative Golf, and that's like £1,000 for a lifetime thing. And then they've got I think they used to have, or they still have like the 2019 2K something or other, so you can like the Players Club, so you can play online against other people. Again, it's like £1,000 or dollars, whichever it is. I think it's interchangeable. And then Fitness Golf, they ran a special on it. It was £180, right? It's 162 courses. I think about half of them are real, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And like it's not the greatest software visually, but it's great. Like it's really good for just playing some golf. Like when you want to play 18 holes, you don't have to go anywhere.
Right.
And you've got great courses and it's cheap. And then they've got this, like the gimmick thing about it is like, if you want to, you can plug in your treadmill to your computer and you can legitimately walk 300 yards.
The golf course.
You can walk the golf course on your treadmill.
I like that, actually.
So I think me and cousin Adam are going to I'm attach like a rowing machine or attach like a spin bike to it. See if we can get it to work out. But that's the news. Me and cousin Adam, I'm going to try to break 80 at Augusta from the tips.
I think average for a handicap of your level is trying to break 90.
I will break 90.
Okay.
The other thing is also I will not be putting.
Oh, that's helpful.
It's not good at reading. It's not the best at reading putts.
Right.
Also, like when you're putting on it, it's really hard to tell distance because you're just like, well, I'm putting into the nothing.
Right.
So what we do is it's all like once you land on the green, depending on your proximity to the hole, it's 1, 2, or 3 putts.
Right.
So
I like that.
it's cheating, but it's like anything sort of like within 30 feet is a 2-putt, anything outside of 30 feet is a 3-putt, and inside of like 6 feet is a 1-putt, which is pretty accurate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. And every now and then it gives you a 1-putt from like 15 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So we're playing 4 rounds in 4 days at Georgia Greens
Georgia Greens.
to compete with the professionals.
I love it.
All right. You ready for our first read?
Yes. What I'm going to do, you're going to have to put a marker
It's
in here.
time for us to put down our bag and hear from our sponsors.
You have to still put a marker in and probably
So
replay that.
professional.
Yeah. I'm going to run to my car because my phone's dying. I have to get my charger. And my information's on my phone. So you do the read. I'll be right back.
Why did you have to? I'm not changing that. That's staying in. Run.
It takes like
Run to
10
your car.
seconds.
I'm doing the read. I'm going to do the read.
Don't do it.
Until you get back.
It's time for us to put down our bag and hear from our sponsors.
Hey, have you heard of a wonderful tournament that's going to be played in Georgia next week? Have you got your TV schedule set up, but afraid you might not be able to hear your television? Are you going to be able to hear Jim Nance say his catchphrase, "Hello, friends"? Hello, friends? Is that his catchphrase?
I don't think you can say hello, friends.
Well, I'm using it in context with Jim Nance.
I don't think you can do that.
It's too late. Hello, pals. That's what Jim Nance says, and I'm giving him all the credit for it. But if you can't hear your television or hear Jim Nance say that, you should check out Beltone Hearing Aid Centers of the Jersey Shore. You should get a Beltone hearing aid test. Use the code word golf. Get yourself a free hearing aid test. If you're located, one of the 17 counties of New Jersey, and you feel like your hearing is going bad, if you're like, oh, I want to listen to the Masters, and then I also want to watch that Sunday night football game afterwards, guess what? Not only do you want to watch it, you want to be able to hear that bad boy. So guess what you should do? You should call 1-732-888-9000. Again, that's 1-732-888-9000. And that is how you get your free hearing test from Beltone Hearing Aid Centers of Central New Jersey. Check them out. Use the code word golf. Back to the show.
And now to your hosts, Ben Ridner and Gunnar Kane.
It's
Hey!
times like this.
That was
where
a great read. That was
It's
great.
time-
I'm so glad we pre-recorded that.
It's times like this where we need to pre-record reads.
Why?
Although it loses the flair. I've thought about this, right?
We've never done the same read for a Beltone hearing aid read.
Never. No.
We've
Yeah.
done 50 of them, and they've all been different.
Yeah, so I've thought about this. I was like, wow, we should probably pre-record the read. But at the same time, I'm
No.
like, well, that wouldn't be us.
No.
We make it up.
I
as we
spent
go.
6 weeks at the Groundlings in Los Angeles. I want
Uh-huh.
to use my improv skills to the max.
I like the idea of improvising reads because
Reads should always be improvised. They should always. We will never, ever read a read.
That's not true. We've read reads, but
I haven't.
I have.
I'm not
right?
going to.
I'm never reading a read. Ben, if Ben's reading, he's not reading.
We used to
That's-
do like reads for bananas.
We
Hey,
did.
do you like yellow curved things from the grocery store? Check out bananas. Just don't drop them out of your Mario Kart.
We did. We've come so far. We have real sponsors.
We have a real sponsors. Yeah.
And
All right. Back to the show. Back to the show.
back to the show.
So this week was the Vivant
Vivant.
Houston Championship. They played at Memorial Park. It was playing 73, 100 yards, par 70.
Mm-hmm.
We were way off on the scores, and I should have seen that coming because normally if a course is normally it's like 100 yards per shot.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's 7,400 yards and the par is 70, it's going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
Look. I didn't
I'm
love
looking.
this tournament.
Me neither.
You know why?
Why?
Because the Masters is next week.
I know.
It's really, I mean,
it's like a filler tournament.
you ever have like Thanksgiving, like the night before?
Yes.
Like a Wednesday night Thanksgiving, you're just like, this isn't real.
Yeah.
This isn't real Thanksgiving.
Yeah, this is just a get together.
And this is a Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
This is a potluck.
This is a large dinner.
I don't want this. I want turkeys.
Even if you have turkey on Wednesday, you're like, this doesn't belong here.
I want to buy a lazy boy and fall asleep in it with a plate on my belly. That's what Thanksgiving's about.
That's right. Well, I guess we should get into it then, because this was whatever. Although I did have a great time hot micing it. And Mug Dad, mandatory Mug Dad reference. Joined us on the hot mic and pointed out that we spent 7 minutes of our 60 minutes talking about the golf.
That's because we spent 57 minutes talking to Mug Dad. It was just our personal chat conversation to Mug Dad, which I enjoy. I don't mind that.
And hot mic is thankfully willing to facilitate that.
Yes, they are.
So, it was fun.
My new truck does not have that much rust on it.
It doesn't.
It
can't have that many kilograms. It was fun to talk about. However, it was not that great to watch. You know, it was hitting ball. Oh, is the ball gonna get stuck behind the tree? No. Okay. All right. Well, nothing fancy here.
Look, can I ask you a question?
Please.
Is there something considerably different about golf at a new-ish course that you don't know the holes? And they don't do a very good job of like flyovers and things like that on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Like they're trying to keep the time on the golf. They're doing earlier starts. They're doing everything. Like, I don't want to say that. I just don't feel like the presentation, like next week, the presentation is going to be immaculate.
Right.
Like,
this is the Masters.
Yeah, like I know every hole already.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I have to know their name: flowering dogwood, azalea, white pine, black pine.
Is there a blue spruce? That's my favorite tree.
Blue spruce. Race Creek.
Don't do this. That's a creek. That's not the name of the hole, but don't do this now because we'll go through them.
So what I'm saying is that as much as I like watching golf, I had a hard time sort of watching this one because I didn't really know the holes. I didn't really know what was at stake because of the amount of time that it was shortened. So they went out as threesomes instead of twosomes.
Right.
And as much as I like the champion, but in the beginning of the week, there was just sort of like, it didn't feel like there was anything at stake at the beginning of the week.
No, and there was nothing at stake in general.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, you're the winner of the Houston Open. This isn't the Players.
No.
This isn't TPC Sawgrass.
That's the same one.
I know.
Oh, okay. No, but I mean, like,
what I'm saying is like
the AT&T, the Valspar, the Tournament of Champions, the Sony Open.
Yeah. And to be fair, like
you go to the Players, you've got Jack's Place, you've got everything down in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've got the snake pit and the bear trap and the big blue wave. What are you saying?
I don't even think that last one was that important.
So that was Doral. Yeah, I like Doral.
Yeah. The reason I put them together, I know it's the same tournament, but it's not like the tournament name invokes some sort of feeling for you. And the name of the course doesn't invoke some sort of feeling for you. So for the Players Championship, if I say, we have the Players this week, you're like, oh, wow, it's the Players. Or if I say, they're playing at TPC Sawgrass, you're like, oh, TPC
You know what's really
Sawgrass.
weird?
Here, they're like, it's the Houston Open, and you're like, yay.
I didn't even get that far. I was just like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's this week.
And then I was I was again like really surprised that so many of like, I guess because it's a $9 million purse. I was really surprised that many people were at this tournament.
All right, Bermuda was so much better in terms of visuals.
Yeah.
Than this tournament was. Now
this almost looked like just like your regular flatland municipal course.
It really did look like we drove. Now this is gonna be super local. This looks like if we drove to Lake of the Woods and we're like, this is supposed to be private, but they let us on. But it's really actually nothing special.
I'm trying to think of like where. I think it was flatter than that. Like it just reminded me of a northeast course. It reminded me of a course more northeast than that.
This was a course that really relied on its false fronts.
Yes.
But had nothing else happening with it.
The greens were relatively flat and easy.
Right.
Yeah. False fronts and then sand.
False fronts and sand. And that's the easy way out, in my opinion.
Sand?
That's false fronts and sand.
Yeah.
If you slope the front of the green and you put sand around the greens.
But the thing is right, is like same with the Bermuda Championship. Well, I think the Bermuda Championship I'll be excited to see next year. Hopefully they get a bit more money. Hopefully they get more players. Right. Like this Houston Championship next year, if they're playing it in the beginning of November, like we're the only two watching it.
Yeah. But we'll do a show about it.
I think people are trying to sort of get back into the groove before the Masters next week.
Right.
I just don't think this was it. Like I was going to say, like the courses that really stick in my mind are usually the USGA championship courses. Because they're the hardest and most beautiful. Pebble, Shinnecock, Oakmont, Marion, Bethpage, like
Medina, all that, yeah.
They do it for me.
Pinehurst number 2, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, I'm totally with you. All right, you wanna break down a little bit of this?
Yeah, I wanna. Yeah, first round. What happened in the first round?
So the first round, what I really appreciate is Brant Snedeker still has me blocked on Twitter.
He does.
He still has me blocked.
How did you offend him?
Would you like to know exactly what I said?
Yeah.
All right. Because what I have to do is I have to search, because I can't search his name because he doesn't pop up.
Because he blocks you that much?
Yeah, I mean, it's just I think it's Brant Sned. Is it Brant Sneds?
I think so, yeah. Can I tell you what was the best part of my day one?
Did he unblock me? No, this can't be it. Yeah, please tell me.
My favorite part of day one. Oh, wait, was it not day one?
What was it?
I don't know. What happened? Yeah, round one. Jordan Spieth. 33. So 2 under par on the front 9. And then he goes +5 on the back 9 with 2 double bogeys. So he goes 73 with 4 birdies.
74 with 4 birdies.
73 with 4 birdies.
73 with 4 birdies is ridiculous.
And didn't make the cut. He spiraled out of control. Because he was at the top of the leaderboard on day one. He was like 3 under through 10, which is actually a decent score on Thursday. Are you still going through your tweets?
Yeah, because I don't know his Twitter handle. You look it up real quick. Can you do that?
Yeah.
So Anyways, I want to say it was the 2018 U.S. Open, and Brant Snedeker did not play very well. And we do this thing called Man of the People on this podcast and on our social media. And
it's just Brant Snedeker. It's just at Brant Snedeker. We're following him on the Swingdom.
I know. And he is not letting me follow him. And I don't know really. I'm having a hard time figuring out how to do this. But anyways, he said, I had said something about him. I said, he shot an 80, I think, in the U.S. Open. And I said, shout out to Brant Snedeker for making the rest of us feel like we could play in the U.S. Open.
Ouch. He did not like that, did he?
No, he blocked me. It's no different. It's no different from what we do for Man of the People.
No.
We don't shout out. I'm not shouting out the 3 players today who went 7 under par. No. You know who gets a shout out? Those 2 that shot 5 under. You know who gets a shout out? Grayson Murray in round 1, who shot 15 over for an 85.
Oh, Bo Hosler, why?
Bo Hosler got a shout out. 82 in round 2 for a 12 over.
I really like him.
It doesn't matter. They get the shout out because they're men of the people.
No, I don't feel bad that we shout him out. I just feel like I want him to do better.
So anyways, Brant Snedeker shoots 5 under. He's the best player for round 1, 65. Grayson Murray shoots the worst at 15 over. But Rory Sabatini and Danny Willett both withdraw through 18.
Because they play terrible?
Sabatini has a 75 and Danny Willett has a 77. So I don't know. Technically, they still had a shot.
Yeah.
The cut line was 3 over.
Yeah.
So DJ did not play very well in round 1. And
no, I was super excited. Dustin nor Doc Redman.
Right.
Played really well, and I was like, ooh, I've got a chance.
Yeah. And Russell Henley and Tony Finau both played.
They played really well. They were in the top 10 at one point.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little nervous. But then, round 1 had a darkness delay, so we had to wait until the next day to finish up. Do you have anything about round 1?
Yeah. Last thing about round 1. Oh, wait, no, that's round 2. I'll get you on round 2, Phil Mickelson.
Oh, me too.
If you can Man of the People on 1 hole, then yes.
Yes. Speaking of that, we saw a lot of 8s on par 3s, which was very strange. So anyway, so round 2.
Yeah, so the 15th was like 110 yards. It was playing over par.
Way over par.
I'm at 110 yards. I'm like, I've got a shot. These guys are like, what do I hit? I don't have a 70-degree wedge to take a full shot.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, all right. So round 2, your best of the day, Sam Burns, who I really thought had a chance to push this weekend, kind of fell through, but 5 under again. I think 7 under was our lowest round of the week. So I was closer to that, but it didn't really matter because I didn't hit on it. Bo Hosler, like I said, 12 over for Man of the People. Graham Dillette withdraws through 6. So that's 3 withdrawals. That's 7 withdrawals in 2 tournaments. Very strange. DJ really presses the pedal to the metal, 4 under for 66.
Do you think if you withdraw with like a bad score, you don't get a doctor's note?
I really don't get it. I don't know.
Like if you withdraw, because Graham Dillette, Rory Sabatini, they all withdraw with scores of like over 75.
I don't know.
And I just want to be like, look, if you're 5 over and you don't think you're going to make the cut and you're going to withdraw so that like you can move on earlier, like you can't play in the next 2 tournaments. because you took away spots from guys who want to play.
I don't know. I might try to put a call into the PGA Tour and try and figure out what, like, everything behind.
You're not even behind it. I just want to know, what are they getting
What do
away with
withdrawals
by
mean?
withdrawing?
Yeah. I mean, what's the benefit? What's the pros and cons to withdrawing?
Yeah.
That's what I want. What are the rules to being able to withdraw from a tournament?
Does it, if it doesn't count as a missed cut, then I guess that's
know.
good. But if you're not getting paid, it doesn't matter. But if Danny Willette's trying to keep any sort of made cut record going,
Right.
he is sadly disappointed. Because
That's
the
right.
last time he made the cut, I think, was in the 2014 Masters. Or 14 Masters.
You could be right, actually. All right, so cut was 3 over.
Yeah.
Which means Phil Mickelson at 9 over par gets
Cut.
sent home.
Par 3 ninth, shoots a 5 over 8.
Yeah, and Lee Westwood with 6 over gets sent home. Phil Mickelson, this is my favorite part of this. So Phil Mickelson, par 3, 9th hole, shoots an 8. It's 177 yards. Then turns around and holes out for 193 yards for an eagle on the last hole. What kind of backwards witch doctor golf is Phil Mickelson playing, and does that last hole? It's the worst score he's had on a par 3 his entire career.
You know what kind of witch doctor golf he's playing.
I definitely know what kind of.
Do you think he would have done better playing in the Champions Tour this weekend?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
100%.
Do you think he should have withdrawn on Thursday here and then on Friday shown up at the Champions Tour event? Hi, I'm Phil Mickelson.
I'm registering.
I'm just withdrawing. I'm just going to fly to wherever the Champions Tour is overnight and start playing there.
Can I register for the Champions Tour event? Because I didn't do so well yesterday.
They wouldn't say no.
I really don't think they would either.
The Champions Tour would be like, come on over here.
Is this Kiefer Sutherland? Can't be. It must be Kevin Sutherland, who wins the Champions Tour event at 13 under. I think Phil had a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I definitely agree.
I really don't know. I also want to give a quick shout out before we move on to the European Tour. Is he from Ireland? Is he from Scotland?
Who?
He won Rookie of the Year last year. Robert McIntyre. Where is he from?
I thought he was just English.
From Scotland.
Oh, okay.
Robert McIntyre wins his first event. At the Aphrodite Hills Cypress Showdown. That kid's got gumption, as they would say 30 years ago. Look forward to him, tearing it up in the near future, I would assume, on the PGA Tour as well. So anyways, Phil Mickelson, worst scored a par in his career, and then Eagles.
That doesn't bode well for his Masters trek, does it?
Well, I don't have him at all in the Masters. I don't even think he makes the cut, but dang,
do you think he's going to show up for the Champions dinner?
I do love to watch. Yes, 100%. I do love to watch Phil at Augusta.
Okay. All right. Ooh, sorry, I had a long day.
Same.
Round 3.
Yeah, you tell me about round 3. We missed all of round 3 because Saturday was a very busy day for us.
Round 3 wasn't when all the moving and the shaking started happening.
I know.
I got very confused by this. I was like, Doc Redman's out. Dustin Johnson's outside the top 40. I'm feeling good. I've got Tony Finau, and I've got Russell Henley inside the top 20 with Terrell Hatton making a charge.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, Hideki Matsuyama, yeah, he'll finish in the top 25. Right. I don't really care where he is now, but he'll be sort of 30 to 20. I'm not sure he's going to make it into the 20. Right. I can't really say much about the course because the course didn't really change.
Right.
I was I'm still a bit surprised at how hard what just happened? At how hard the course was playing, because I thought it was at par 70. Somebody would get to 9 or 10 under, and the low round was 7 under, it was 63.
Right.
That was all week.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? When you've got. Why is that doing that?
I will say 7 under was the low round of the week, but I really loved that in day 3 on Saturday, the Cameron Davis and Matt Jones shared man of the people at 7 over.
Yeah.
Ironically, both Australians. So I don't know what that tells you about this course.
I thought Australia was a lot like Texas, so I figured it would be okay.
Yeah.
But again, with,
Didn't work out.
I was going to say, was anybody at, I think today, Dustin Johnson is, day 4, beginning of day 4, takes a proper lead, and it's -9. So, you've Carlos Ortiz in the running, and he was at -8.
Well, we saw Carlos Ortiz at around the 13th hole.
Yeah.
Before we signed off of Hot Mic, and you and I both agreed
he should win. He was playing the best.
Going to win this, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that I guess moves us into day 4.
Day 4,
where Carlos Ortiz does win it.
Yep.
Wins it by 2. Birdie's the last hole, I want to say, with a 23-footer.
Yeah.
And
then gets emotional, which is really nice to see in the game of golf.
Well, he should, because that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my guys, come through for me, and yours, they don't make that big of a push, but it's a good effort.
Yeah, turned pro at age 22 in 2013. He is 29 years old now, and he has got his first win. He's from Guadalajara, Mexico.
Mm-hmm. He sure is.
I like the wolf on his shirt. I don't know where it's from.
Is that a Great Wolf Lodge up there in
I don't know.
Up there,
I like it though. I thought it was the brand of clothing.
Probably.
Yeah.
Odd side of the shirt to brand clothing,
but day 4 you saw Dustin Johnson, Carlos Ortiz, going back and forth, even though they were in different threesomes.
Hideki making a huge push.
Same with Brooks Koepka making a huge push. And then you have Jason Day falling back and Sepp Straka falling back, even though I believe Sepp Straka was tied for first.
Yeah.
And then he double bogeys 14, birdies 15, bogeys 16, and he finishes just 1 under. If he had not had either of those bogeys, he would have definitely had a real chance.
100%. You ready to get into the picks?
Let's get into the picks.
All right. So I had Dustin Johnson, Hideki Matsuyama, and Doc Redmond. Dustin Johnson really came through, had a rough Thursday, and pulled away all the way up to tied for second, which gives me 500 bonus points. Hideki Matsuyama firing that.
There goes my lead.
It doesn't, as a matter of fact. Hideki Matsuyama firing that final round 7 under puts him at tied for second. Another 500 bonus points. Doc Redmond makes the cut, gives me all the Stableford points throughout the week. Finishes tied for 61. I had Phil finishing top 20. He missed the cut, so nothing. And I had a Texas native winning as my prop bet, and obviously Carlos Ortiz is from Guadalajara, Mexico. So no bonus points for me. Ben had Terrell Hatton, makes a great charge at the end of the week to tie for 7th. That's 500 bonus points for top 10. Russell Henley falls off, tied for 29th, and Tony Finau just cannot keep it going after days 1 and 2. Finishes tied 24th.
I know, one more birdie, and he would have been in the top 20.
Lee Westwood was your long shot to finish top 20. He was cut, and your winner for your prop bet was not playing the Masters, and you did hit on that. Carlos
Hit on that.
Ortiz does not play in the Masters.
That's an extra 250 points.
I think 127th in the FedEx Cup standings. That's going to be a little more after today, but not playing in the Masters. That's 250 bonus points.
But he will be invited to the one in April.
Ben is still leading the charge by 98 points. So I am closing the gap up. You know, it was.
That's me being excited if you're watching the video.
It was almost 600 points. I closed the gap up on him.
Yeah.
So we'll have to make solid predictions for the Masters tournament. But that is your Houston Open expert pick final standings.
That is indeed.
Although
What did you think of the Houston Open?
I thought it was okay.
It's time for us to put down our bag and hear from our sponsors.
Hello, citizens of the Swingdom.
What's up?
This is just a little thank you note.
Thank you.
Just writing this down right now. Thank you, citizens of the Swingdom, for sticking with us, watching us on the YouTube, checking out our podcast. We would be forever grateful if you would subscribe to either one, leave us a review, hit the bell for notifications,
If you're feeling
iTunes,
saucy.
Spotify, if you want, and send us an email. You can get our contact. You can fill out our contact form on our website at theswingdompodcast.com. And if you guys have any questions for us or questions to go on the show or questions that have to do with anything related in the golf world, please, please, please reach out and ask us one thing or another. That would be absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to get an idea of what we should do in terms of maybe like a Shopify, whether we should be doing mugs, ball markers,
Yeah,
pivot
t-shirts.
tools, t-shirts, hats, all that sort of stuff. You guys have any ideas, please let us know. And again, yeah, if you don't mind checking out the YouTube, subscribe, really appreciate it. All of the Hadrian's Wall Walk videos starting to go up this week.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe next week. Maybe this week. Maybe next week.
Probably should be this week. We need to get everything out of the way for the
Got
Masters.
so many videos. All right, yeah. So thank you guys for sticking with us and the Swingdom and continuing to be citizens in our lovely land that is
The Swingdom.
the Swingdom.
And now to your hosts, Ben Ridner and Gunnar Kane.
All right,
Got very sentimental there at the end. I appreciate that.
you know what? I just want people to know that I appreciate them. I know
The
that
only-
I know that we've been we do this because we like talking about golf,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a great platform for us to sort of dive into and have fun talking about golf.
But our fans keep us going, which is
All 12 of them.
because I could just call you on the phone
Yeah,
and talk golf
twice a week. Yeah.
Twice a week, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could just talk golf with you over the telephone
Yeah.
and text you.
But instead, you got a lovely ring light and a microphone.
I'm pointing at my ring light
Yeah.
it's right there. It's like a. it's a ring.
Sorry, I have a sleepy dog, and he just made a smell out of the wrong end.
Gross.
Yep, very gross. And
you
I'm in a shut room with him.
Do you have anything to complain about this week?
I sort of touched on it a little bit on the hot mic, which was like nobody in Houston was wearing masks.
Wear your mask. That's it. Ridiculous. All right, you continue. I'm sorry.
And let me just put it this way: like the thing about the masks is, and so me and Isadora, we went to Japan 2 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a culture where they've worn masks, and they have for a while. They've worn medical masks,
Mm-hmm.
but not everybody does. And if you ask people who are wearing a mask why they're wearing, it's because they're not feeling well,
Right.
and they don't want to get other people sick. So
Which
you're not
is-
wearing a mask because like, oh, I'm afraid that I'm not going to get this. No. You're wearing a mask because in case you have it and you don't know it yet, you don't give it to anybody else.
Right. One small sniffle. That's it.
But I think like, look, this isn't a PSA. I'm not that guy. This isn't what that's about. What I am upset about is it was just a bad look for the PGA. This is the first time fans are in. They're not keeping the distances correctly. They're not keeping the masks on. And you're just sort of saying to yourself, if I was in Houston, and even if I didn't get it at the tournament, but if I got a tournament weekend, I'd blame the PGA.
100%.
And I would blame the tournament. Even if I couldn't prove it, I would just be like, well, I was there for 4 days, and nobody was wearing masks, and nobody was telling people to wear masks, and nobody was saying, hey, do you mind keeping 2 meters apart or 2 yards apart? That would be helpful. I would be mad. All right, that's it for the Ragedom. The Masters is next week. What do you do? This week in golf, I am preparing for the Masters.
I am doing exactly the same thing. I am going to get myself a boatload of pimento cheese, and that's all I will eat.
How big's the boat? Is this like a 40-foot boat?
Probably.
Okay.
40 to 50 foot. Yeah.
Why is pimento cheese more expensive at the grocery store than it is at Augusta National?
Because it's pre-made.
Okay.
So I made my own once, and I had way too much. It was delicious, but I had way too much, and it only cost me like $7, and I had
way too much.
Again, way too much. At the store, I have just enough for $5. So, but the work to put into it, to mixing everything up,
okay,
that's probably why.
Okay,
I'll probably do it again. I'll probably make my own again.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I think this week I'll also be doing more. I'm going to try to do a YouTube live just about every day. Just because it's fun. But now that I figured it out,
I might make pimento cheese in my house on video.
Oh, you also have a package coming in the mail.
No.
I sent you a package.
You did?
In the mail.
I freaking love the mail.
Yeah, me too.
Can I tell you something weird about myself?
It's like Christmas every day.
I just love the mail.
Yeah.
I love going down the mailbox and boom, something's there.
No, my wife is seriously addicted to Amazon, and it's not because it's easier to get things. It's because she loves opening up giant boxes filled with garbage.
I love the mail. Send me
letters, or do you like boxes?
Both.
I sent you a letter.
You did?
It's inside of a box.
No.
Without the letter. It's just a box.
It's just a box.
I think I got your address right.
I hope so. Well, I'll tell you.
You sent it to me. Don't say it on air because I don't have to edit any of this. This is going out as is.
No. I'm not going to. It's in Virginia.
That's what did I put Virginia on it?
Well,
I didn't put Virginia on it.
We're basically neighbors, so you
I put the town, and I put the zip code, and I put USA.
Oh, it only matters. The zip code is what the scanners read. But they got rid of the automatic scanners because of the election.
I didn't put in Virginia.
By the way, the election is over.
I don't want to talk about it.
Not really.
I'm so angry.
It's not really. It's not really over. But
so angry about this election.
It's been something.
I'll tell you about it later.
All right.
All right. I'm done.
Me too.
I'm angry about masks. I'm angry about the election, but I love the Postal Service.
The Postal Service is amazing.
Even that band with Ben Gibbard.
Yeah. And, what was this other band? Death Cab for Cutie?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Great. All right. Swing them out.
Swing them out.
Citizens unite.
You've been listening to The Swingdom. Remember, we're just 2 guys, 28 clubs, 0 putts given.
That's too much?
That was absolutely one of the most ridiculous things that have ever been said on this podcast.
Good.